To the ultimate final exam, a very special edition of Tucker Carlson tonight. For the past several months, we've been putting the top news gatherers here at Fox to the test to see which one's been paying attention to the news they cover and which ones haven't. It all began last July with our first ever news quiz. It featured Peter Doocy and Elizabeth Pran. Here's round one.
Bring it on.
I'm not taking my finger off.
Welcome to you both. This is something we thought of in the shower one morning, but we think it's going to work.
This is my nightmare. If I get one.
I think you're gonna do great. Here are the rules.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the questions.
Okay.
The first one of you to buzz in on our specially made police vehicle buzzers gets to answer that question. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you lose a point.
Okay.
Best of 5 wins. Are you ready?
5?
Best of 5.
Oh, okay.
Here's the first question. State officials in Nevada, sometimes called Nevada, this week announced a state of emergency when stores there sold out of what? Elizabeth?
Pot.
Marijuana. Weed. Okay, we're going to go to the tape and see if you're right.
Marijuana dispensaries are running out of pot. The governor has declared a state of emergency. A surge in sales there has left a lot of shelves empty.
Somebody watched the special report. I'm telling Brett Baer he's going to be flattered.
This report.
Fast with that question.
It was good.
Interesting.
I'm not going to tell you what.
You think there may have been some chicanery behind the scenes?
I don't know. She said
That's illegal, so we're not going to cop to that. Question 2.
Right.
This one is a multiple choice question, so wait for the choices before answering. The Olympic Committee this week announced that the city of Los Angeles would soon host the Summer Games. When was the last time LA hosted the Olympics? Was it 1980? Was it 1984? Was it 1988?
1984.
1984.
How do you know that?
Says,
It was
well,
before I was born, but I feel like I've seen a sweatshirt.
We're going to see if you're right. Let's go to the
You're
tape.
definitely right.
It was the LA Summer Games of '84 that electrified the country. The torch was lit at the LA Coliseum, but it was Carl Lewis who set the crowd on fire.
I'm impressed because 1984 to you was like the First World War to me. It was just like prehistory, but you knew it anyway.
I feel like I hear a lot about, was that the one that Bruce Jenner was in?
I'm not going there. Question 3. Last month, President Trump invited a recently retired quarterback to play golf with him. This week, that quarterback said that people pressured him not to accept the offer, but he felt like taking a pass on it would be, quote, un-American. Who is that?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, says Elizabeth Pran.
You know, I've had a chance to play with President Bush before. If President Obama or President Clinton asked me, I'd be there in a heartbeat. I mean, it was just the experience of playing with the office that was pretty cool to me, and I think it would have been almost un-American to have said no.
Only because of the ESPYs, that's why I knew.
I'm impressed, Elizabeth
Well,
Pran.
too, but that, I mean, I lowered the bar, but I'm good. I'm done. I'm tapping out. I'm going to go.
Peter, wake up, son. Question 4, another multiple choice question. This week, one of the largest icebergs ever recorded broke off from the Antarctic Peninsula. It was enormous. Scientists say it weighs 1 trillion tons and is the size of what state? Rhode Island, Maine, Delaware.
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 I think it's like one of my old Joe Biden Google alerts that I just get anything Delaware.
AKA the first state. Let's see on the tape.
A massive chunk of ice separating into the ocean, said to be the size of Delaware.
Peter Doocy, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't
Wins this geography quiz. Okay, we're down to the final question.
Okay.
It's 2-2.
Okay.
A technician working
I'm so
at a
nervous.
Corpus Christi bank, that's in Texas, yesterday, had to be rescued by police after he accidentally locked himself inside what for 2 hours?
The ATM machine.
How did you know that?
I think it would be the vault, but we've got a tape.
We can hear a little voice coming from the machine. You'll never see this again in your life, that somebody's stuck in the ATM machine.
Unbelievable.
How did you know
Because that is the craziest story. People were going to the ATM and this
physically-
man was inside sending them notes that just said, help, I'm stuck in the ATM.
The world's
Let me out.
smallest repairman. He's
How
only
do you
like
like
8
there wouldn't
inches
be a
tall.
What
lot
would you think if
oxygen
you
in
got
there.
that note? I would think that the thing was going to take my credit card and I would probably, skim it and I would just leave.
I would think it was an inside job.
I would think so.
Final exam, the first test, 3-2. Mark Stein is obviously a genius and one of our favorite guests on this show. In November, we finally managed to corner him in the final exam chair. Here's how it went. We're joined tonight by 2 Fox News guests, people you know well. A.B. Stoddard is associate editor at Real Clear Politics. Mark Stein is an author and columnist and sits in to host this show. They join us both. Great to see you. Neither one of you has been on this show. We have no even prediction for who's going to win.
Not at all.
May a fair fight commence. Question one. Which tech billionaire bought an $80 million plot of land in the state of Arizona this week to build what he's calling a high-tech smart city? Tech billionaire, $80 million piece of property in Arizona to build a tech city.
I am so excited that we're both pausing.
Mark Stein.
Jeff Bezos?
Jeff Bezos. Good guess. Is that the correct answer to the tape?
Gates snapping up 25,000 acres. Thousands of acres in Arizona. That's huge. Price tag $80 million. 80,000 homes and plenty of room for industry with high-speed data centers and self-driving cars. Are you ready for this, Bill?
Bill Gates, a planned community. Would you want to live there?
I wouldn't want to live in any community planned by Bill Gates because it's like living in Windows 97 for the rest of your life.
That's exactly right. I totally agree. All right, question two. During his 12-day trip to Asia, the continent, President Trump was serenaded by a world leader. Which Asian president sang him a love song that included these lyrics? "You are the light in my world"? ABS.
Duterte of the Philippines.
Duterte of the Philippines, says Alexander. AB Stoddard, to the tape.
And at the ASEAN dinner, Duterte sang a love song with a famous Filipino pop star, saying he did it on orders from President Trump.
The orders of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States.
That's the best since Putin did Blueberry Hill. That
is really
that's great.
That is fantastic. I know,
You know what?
killed a lot of
Actually,
people,
you know what? I learned about that through reading, and that was my first time actually hearing it. It was really painful.
Wow.
Yeah, that was.
Learned
I don't
about
want
it
to see
through
that
reading.
again. I can't.
You're an
unhear
old school journalist.
I can't
AB
unhear
Stoddard. All right, question three is a multiple choice question.
Oh dear. When do we
People
press?
Magazine, yes, as soon as I give you all three answers. People Magazine, which still exists, just named the 2017 sexiest man alive. Was it 1, Chris Hemsworth, 2, Brad Pitt, or 3, Blake Shelton? But wait, there was an honorable mention, actually, and that goes to our very own Mark Stein. I think we have him on the screen. Mark Stein, sexiest man alive.
I was going to say Mark Stein, but I think I'll go with Chris Hemsworth.
Chris
Wrong.
Hemsworth.
It's Blake.
Well, we'll find out. Chris Hemsworth.
Was that inappropriate?
Does the tape confirm Mark Stein's guess of Chris Hemsworth?
Have you seen this yet? People Magazine's annual Sexiest Man Alive edition. That honor goes to Blake Shelton this year.
I don't get the point because I banned at the wrong time, right?
That's true.
Okay, well,
I was
let
wrong.
the record show.
Do you know who Chris Hemsworth is?
Yeah, isn't he the mighty Thor?
I have no idea.
Neither do I.
But you knew it was Blake Shelton.
I did.
Do you know who he is?
No. I just heard it in the
But you knew
background
he was
while I
the
was getting
sexiest
ready
man
for work on like some TV show or radio show that I had on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My guess, Chris Cuomo, but he was not on the list. Question 4, a painting of Jesus sold for nearly $500 million yesterday at an auction in New York City. The artwork was created by which Renaissance painter? Mark Stein.
I know this one. Leonardo da Vinci, as the New York Post put it.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Does the tape confirm Leonardo?
The painting, which depicts Jesus, is referred to as the last Da Vinci because it's believed to be the only painting by the artist still in private hands. 19 minutes after the opening gavel, the painting sold for $450 million, the highest price ever for a piece of art.
Leonardo is right, and not DiCaprio.
No, and that will retain its value longer than your Microsoft stock or Amazon or any of that. Yeah, $500 million for that. That will pay off in a...
Very impressive. If I'm looking for a new investment advisor, you're the man.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, this is your chance.
Buy Leonardo. That's good advice.
Well, we're going to see if you can get back to zero.
Okay.
Okay, back to equilibrium, stasis, par. Okay, final question. Boston Dynamics, the robotics company, just came out with a rechargeable robotic pet to keep sad people company. The robot is modeled after which kind of animal? Mark Stein.
Based on what they have in Japan, I think I'm going to go with cat.
Cat. Is a robotic cat the answer?
Look at this. Boston Dynamics has developed what it says is the most advanced
video.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
That's a robotic dog. It's called.
terrifying.
Oh my God. It's nasty. It's 55 pounds, all electric.
Oh,
it can go 90
it's
minutes on
creepy.
a charge.
It
But I
doesn't
have
even
no idea what it's
remotely
for.
resemble
Any
a
idea?
dog.
To creep us out. They creep us out.
A cat was a great guess because consider the market they're aiming at, right? It's obviously a cat market. But as AB pointed out, it looks more like an insect than a dog.
It doesn't look like a dog at all.
AB Stoddard, you win. Oh. You get the mouth breather mug. Congratulations.
I know that when
Good
Mark,
job.
I know when Mark anchors the show, he gets a freebie.
Yes,
so
he
I
does.
don't feel badly.
Ouch. Takes more than brilliance to win this game. Another Fox friend of ours had better luck, though. Shannon Bream dominated final exam for a record 9 consecutive games, partly on the strength of her moral purity. You can play along and check out the longest winning streak in final exam history with our friend Shannon Bream. That's next.